right knee. He'll miss at least the next 2 weeks. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports he'll be reevaluated at that point, and then a timeline for a potential return in the playoffs will be clearer. Grizzlies expect to have their best player back in the lineup tonight versus the Rockets. Ja Morant set to return after serving an 8-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the NBA. Expect a motivated Morant from here on out, says ESPN's Matt Barnes.
He had basketball taken away for the first time ever, and it wasn't because of an injury. So I expect him to come back hungry. I expect him to come back excited, energetic. And if you look at it from a different kind of standpoint, he really got like 2 weeks off heading into the playoffs, which is not a terrible thing. So I expect him as an individual to be a monster tonight, and I expect Memphis to follow his lead.
Matt Barnes on Fitz and Harry. NFL Jets agreed to a deal with receiver Mecole Hardman, also traded receiver Elijah Moore and a third-round pick in next month's draft to the Browns for a second-rounder. Astros second baseman Jose Altuve had thumb surgery today. He won't resume baseball activities for at least 2 months.
A championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. So for parts that fit, head to eBay Motors and look for the green check. Stay in the game with eBay Guaranteed Fit. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Zion is back.
Hump day.
But not really.
It's hump day.
I mean, are they just...
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Are they just filibustering us?
Hump day.
Probably.
It's hump day.
LSU baseball won last night.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
They're good.
Hump day.
Hashtag analysis.
It's hump day.
Saints have added a former first-round pick.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Turn it down a little bit. Saints have added a defensive tackle as well.
Hump day.
We'll do overrated, underrated.
It's hump day.
We'll do Pluckers trivia.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Muse, I think you're going to nail them today. All of them.
Hump day.
Getting all of them.
It's hump day.
See. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
What day is it,
Yeah.
Mike?
Got that one.
Doubtful.
Hump day.
Oh, that one for sure. Yeah, you got that.
Doubtful.
It's hump day.
Oh, this one for sure, too.
Mike.
Oh, yeah.
What day is it, Mike?
You're going 3-0 today.
Probably not.
Hey, did you go 3-0 last week?
I did. That happened.
And did I
yes.
call it?
Kind of, yeah. But
Did
I
I
got a
give you some
second
help?
chance. I got a second chance on one of them.
Did I give you a little help? Yes.
On one question.
On all of them.
On
a little
one question.
leading. There was a little leading there. We got there.
Hump day.
We're doing it.
It's hump day.
Like LL Cool J said. Doing it, doing it, doing it well.
What day is it, Mike?
That's what he said. I heard him. All right, let's get going here. Glad to have you aboard with us. We got some breaking news. Hit me with the breaking news sounder, Muse. It calls for it. Here we go. Pelicans today. Little medical update. Has it really been 2 weeks since the last time they told us they would reevaluate Zion in 2 weeks?
Feels like it's been about 3, but yeah, I guess so.
Doesn't feel like more than 13 days, I tell you. Pelicans have announced this update on Zion Williamson. And Jose Alvarado, by the way. Alvarado missed 10 games due to a stress reaction in his right tibia. He has shown incremental improvement. He'll continue the rehab process. He'll be re-examined in 2 to 3 weeks. Zion, meanwhile, following reevaluation of his right hamstring strain, Zion has been cleared to return to on-court activity.
Let's go. Play in.
Right. Oh, no, that doesn't mean he's playing.
Oh.
No. He can just return to on-court activities.
Well, you play on a court, though, right?
Right, but you know what he was doing before was just like sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
And now he can stand on the floor.
Oh.
And they'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks.
Get out of here. Go away.
I mean,
who cares?
Are they just trolling us at this point? This feels just like a massive filibuster. Like, he was never really going to come back. You just kept delaying it by 2 weeks. We'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks. Look, we just reevaluate. Hey, everything is going as it should. We'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Hey, on-court activities. Yes! Zion's coming back! And we'll reevaluate him. Now he's going to play in 2 weeks. We're going to reevaluate him again in 2 weeks.
I just don't understand. Just
Hey, you know what's coming in 2 weeks?
What?
The end of the season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just say he's not coming back.
I mean, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. I mean, the only thing that you could really think here is that if they make the playoffs, they could bring him back. I mean, that's really the only thing you would think right now. Look, Pelicans last night, they blew out San Antonio. Isn't that just so typical, though? Like, for this team, where, yes, like, a good team should blow out that team. Of course they should. And they did, 119-84. But a good team should also win 2 at Houston last weekend. And they split. They blew a 15-point lead last Friday. I mean, come on. Look, they play the Hornets tomorrow. The Hornets are terrible. They'll probably lose that game. I mean, maybe they'll win it. Maybe they'll win it, get our hopes up, and then they'll go on a 3-game lead. It's just what they are. But in 2 weeks, Zion there will be reevaluated. So we'll look forward to seeing what they have to say about Zion's reevaluation after returning to court, on-court activities right now. Zion's been cleared to return on. I didn't know he wasn't doing on-court activities, quite honestly. I thought he might have been maybe lightly jogging, getting some shots up.
Do you think?
Probably not.
Do you think that even when they're eliminated from, or if they get eliminated from play-in contention, do you think they actually give another update? Like, Zion's out for the year, guys, or do they just let it die in?
You know what's funny is you had to alter from playoff contention to play-in.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Once they're eliminated from playoff, which preposition is it? Is it play about contention?
Play about.
I don't know. All right, so that is the official word from the Pelicans. I guess it's positive in that Zion has progressed and has been able to he's been able to resume on-court activities. They'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks, but that's the end of the season, man. The Pels are 35-37. They won last night. Their final game of the regular season is coming up on Sunday, April the 9th. So hold on. I'm not good at math. Let me do this real quick. So, so 2 weeks from today would be April the 5th, which means if he returned, he would return for the April 5th game against Memphis. But he's not going to return. He would just be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Right.
So there's Wednesday, April 5th against Memphis, Friday, April 7th against the Knicks, and Sunday, April 9th against Minnesota. That's it. The only game Zion could even possibly play in. Unless
those 3 games.
Unless if they make the playoffs.
Or the play-in?
Or the play-in.
Or both?
Or the play-about.
Or the play-about.
The play-around.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hey, did you see the Saints went to Ohio State's pro day today?
I did see that, and also water is wet.
Breaking news.
They're scouting the next one.
Breaking news, please. Breaking news today. The New Orleans Saints sent a contingent to meet with a bevy of Ohio State players at their pro day. Also breaking today, the sun rose.
Yes. Congratulations, random Ohio State player here. You've been selected with the 29th overall pick. And possibly the 40th pick as well.
Oh, man.
What's the most Ohio State players they've taken in one draft? Do we know? Do we have that anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Let's set a record.
Have there been drafts with multiple?
I don't know. If there hasn't, let's do that now.
Look up 2016 because I can't remember if Michael Thomas and Von Bell were both in the same draft. Actually, I don't think they were because they were both second-round picks. So I don't think they were in the same draft. But maybe they were a year apart. Because Marcus Williams went in 2017.
No, yeah, Von Bell and Michael Thomas. They Mike Thomas 47 overall, Von Bell 61.
So they
overall.
were in the same draft.
Same draft.
Okay.
So there we go. Oh, so it's at least 2. So can we get 3
Let's
this year?
go.
Let's break record. We got to do something. I mean, the NFC South stinks. The team kind of stinks. Let's set some type of record.
Saints sent a contingent to Ohio State's pro day to meet with a bevy of players. Breaking news, by the way. Got breaking news into the show. The brain has still been fired. All right. It's after further review. Let's get on track. We'll knock out our first break of the show. When we come back, I do want to talk about LSU baseball. Their win last night at the Box. They beat Central Arkansas. And look, you're not going to take necessarily a ton away, but there were a few things that I liked what I saw last night. So we'll delve into that. Around the SEC, Taylor Calandro later this hour as well. And the Saints have added 2 free agents, one of their own, and they brought in a former first-round pick. That's coming up next hour. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel. I want to remind you about Tallulah inside of the Renaissance Hotel. And I really want to encourage you, if you haven't done this yet, I want you to so often in Baton Rouge, we kind of exist in our own little ecosystems. We go to the same 3-4 places, maybe around where we work or where we live. I want you to think, and not just think about it. I want you, the next time you schedule a business lunch, hey, where are we going to go? I want you to go to Tallulah. They have $10 lunch specials so you can eat affordably. This is upscale casual dining. It's all chef-inspired. I mean, Chef Jason Aber does an awesome job with the menu. It is affordable. It is convenient. It's right there on Bluebonnet near the interstate inside of the Renaissance Hotel. The next time you need a business lunch or a casual lunch or even a night out, Tallulah inside of the Renaissance Hotel. Just go give them a try. I promise you'll be thrilled. It's Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU baseball beats Central Arkansas last night 10-4. I'm not sure that there were any tremendous surprises here. LSU got out to a nice lead. Dylan Cruz hit an opposite field 2-run homer in the first. Tigers got up 3-0. Blake Money, wheels kind of came off a little bit in the fourth. He allowed a 4 spot, so you look up and the Tigers were down 4-3. They came back and responded with a run in the fourth. Then Jordan Thompson hit a 3-run homer in the fifth to put LSU up 7-4. They would add 3 more in the sixth, and they would cruise from there 10-4. Here was Jay Johnson last night after the win over. What are they? The Grizzlies? What are they? The Bears? Are they just the Bears? They're just the Bears. Not the Black Bears or the Brown Bears. Not the Grizzly Bears?
Just the Bears.
Just the Central Arkansas Bears?
The Bears.
It feels like they could do more. It's like they're stealing it from Calicut. Here's Jay Johnson. Here's Jay Johnson. Shut up, Hughes. Here's Jay Johnson on the win.
Yeah, it was good, especially coming off that first SEC weekend, with a lot of intensity and getting 2 big wins at Texas A&M and playing a tough game and falling just short of a sweep on Sunday. I was very interested to see how we'd respond, and to no surprise, guys came out ready to play. I thought for the first 3 innings, Blake Money was excellent.
Yeah.
Couldn't pitch any better than he did. Got in a little trouble there in the fourth, and then Griffin Herring, one of the big stories of the night. I often say he's the one guy that we got to get out on the mound more. I think he's going to be a star, this year and do a lot, in SEC play as we move forward. So really excited about Griffin. Gavin Guidry did a good job. Sam Dutton did a good job. Bryce Collins did a good job. Had strike 3 to end the game.
Yeah.
Got by him. And then Will came in a big spot and did a really good job. So another 0 in the error column. Love to see that. And offensively, I thought we were good. I don't think we were great, but we did hit a lot of balls hard again tonight.
So a couple. You heard him say, talk about Griffin Herring there. Griffin Herring's a freshman lefty. He got the win. He came in relief, pitched 2 1/3, and was really good. He struck out 3. He walked 1. I can understand why Jay Johnson is itching a little bit to get Griffin Herring out there. And I don't think that this is necessarily a knock on the other 2 guys because Nate Ackenhausen has pitched well in spots. He pitched well on Friday. He pitched into and out of trouble on Friday against Texas A&M. Riley Cooper, in his career, has pitched in some really big spots, both in Arizona, team that went to the College World Series, and last year at LSU. But it is also fair to say that both of those guys at times this year have struggled. I don't think that that's unfair to say. Look, I get Ackenhausen's been really good. Ackenhausen's ERA is .79. I mean, so I'm not going to sit here and say, it's been bad. But, again, if you watch the game Friday night against Texas A&M, he worked himself into and out of trouble. And look, they were going to go back to him on Sunday. They had him warming up on Sunday. Cooper has been uncharacteristically I want to say wild. That's not the right word to use. But I think we just came to have a grand expectation. And the tough thing about Riley Cooper is there's nothing that he does. There's no single pitch he has that is a dominant pitch. He doesn't have a great wipeout slider or put away pitch. He's a guy that can go execute and he'll battle. And I know it's so cliche to say he's a bulldog on the mound, but he's kind of that guy. I don't know that Riley Cooper, aside from the fact that he throws left-handed, has a great pro potential or future. But you're going to count on him to get big outs. But if you can add a third lefty to the mix out of the bullpen, I mean, who wouldn't want that? Griffin Herring certainly looked good last night. So, by the way, here was Jay Johnson did talk after the game a little more about Griffin Herring.
The pitching talent is easy to see. It's a fastball. I think I saw 194 up on the board. So from the left side, that does something to speed things up. Breaking ball's good, changeup's good, but the mindset he has is elite. He's done a really good job of being patient here and staying focused on what he can control. And I think he's had 4 outings, and 3 of them have been really, really good for us. Yeah. And he will be on the mound at some point in this series against Arkansas for sure. And we're going to need another good performance out of him.
I love that. I mean, you want to talk about undeniable faith right there. He's going to be on the mound. Jay did say going into this game that Griffin Herring's probably the guy who's been most victimized by the 7 mercy rules that LSU's played. Keep in mind that's 7 games where they didn't have to get 27 outs. And so you shorted your staff the opportunity to get those innings of work. And guys like Griffin Herring are the ones who were most affected because that was an opportunity for them likely to go pitch in those moments. But I'll tell you what I did like on the mound otherwise. This was such an illustration of LSU's depth. A year ago, Blake Money started the season as your Friday night guy. Sam Dutton was pitching on SEC weekends a year ago as a freshman. Bryce Collins was one of your most consistent stoppers out of the bullpen last year. And these are guys that were just trying to get innings in a midweek game now. I mean, that's a great illustration of just how much depth you have this year as opposed to a year ago. I mean, Sam Dutton can get you outs in SEC games. He just hadn't had the opportunity. Blake Money, while it unraveled on him in the 4th, the first 3 innings, he was fantastic. I mean, he was snapping off breaking balls for strikes. He was really effective with the fastball. I mean, he was fantastic for 3 innings. Is that a guy that maybe in an SEC weekend, if you get into a spot like you did this past weekend where your starting pitcher can't get you through the 4th and you need someone that can extend and be a bridge, maybe it's, well, you got Chase Shores, who's fantastic in that role, but maybe Blake Money can be an option there as well. So you like some of what you saw there. We got to see Gavin Guidry pitch last night as well. Little AFR mojo for Gavin Guidry. Was in studio, went out there and gave LSU an inning. Did allow a hit, but certainly doesn't look overmatched as a freshman who's relearning to pitch. As he sat in the studio last week and told us, or earlier this week rather, and told us, he didn't pitch in the fall. He was trying to win a job starting in the infield, and only now has he gone back to pitching, and he's doing so against college hitters. So that's a guy who may continue to develop as this spring goes along. We did see some of the changes in the lineup, like we talked about. Paxton Kling went to the bench. Braden Joubert was in the lineup. He was 1 for 3. He walked as well. Josh Pearson led off and was 2 for 5. Dylan Cruz was awesome, 2 for 3 with the homer that we mentioned as well. Jared Jones had a great at-bat early in the game where he got down 0-2 and battled back and fouled off a bunch of pitches, worked the count, and then ultimately just roped a double down the third base line. That's maturity as a hitter. That's not just a big 6'4" dude who's country strong, clubbing homers. That's learning how to hit and how to have a patient approach at the plate. So you're seeing it's the value of these types of games where you can see some of that growth and some of that maturity. Yeah, of course you want to win all the time, and you want to win every game you play. I'm not minimizing that, but that's where the real value lies for Jay Johnson, for this coaching staff, is seeing things like that from these guys as they make it through a game like that. So LSU beats Central Arkansas 10-4. we mentioned Jordan Thompson as well, who hit the 3-run homer. Remember last year, Jay Johnson said that Jordan Thompson is the guy he would want at the plate in any clutch situation. Like that was the guy who'd pick. I mean, while so many were focused on his early season struggles defensively, Jay Johnson never lost sight of who Jordan Thompson was, and he's being rewarded now. Jordan Thompson's having a magnificent season, and he did so again last night at the 3-run homer that allowed LSU to retake the lead they would never relinquish. Here was Jay Johnson after the game on Jordan Thompson's ability to come through in those big moments.
He's as clutch as can be, and just been one of the most important players here in my short tenure. And just trust him. And he's been working hard. I think his at bats have been better than the results he's actually gotten to this point this year. But you love seeing him come up in clutch situations, and big swing at that point in time. It's a 4-4 game, and allowed us to breathe a little bit. Allowed Griffin to settle in and go get us another inning, and then turn it over to those other guys, and they did a good job.
LSU, they'll get back to work on Friday, taking on Arkansas, coming into the box for a 3-game set. LSU got a chance to take the SEC West lead, something if they get, we hope they never relinquish for the remainder of the season. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA and one of the most highly rated sports books, mobile sports books that you'll find anywhere. Hey, remember, tomorrow the NCAA tournament resumes. And if you're a new customer, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 pregame money line bet. And if you hit, they'll give you $150 in free bets. It's that easy. It's at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 pregame money line bet. If it hits, they'll give you $150 in free bets. Also, every day throughout the tournament, they're giving you opportunities for bigger payouts. If it's boosts, odd boosts, parlays, all different stuff like that. So make sure you're checking back at the DraftKings Sportsbook every single day to see what that new deal is that day. The app is so easy to use. Download it today in the App Store or Google Play. It's the DraftKings Sportsbook. Remember, use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Free bet expires 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms. Licensee partner Gold Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. It's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ryan Pitchford sent a text asking if we're getting a new episode of Scone and T tonight. We are. So T-Bob and I will be at Oliver Twist as soon as the AFR ends. I jet over to Oliver Twist on Perkins. T-Bob and I go live at 7 o'clock. So love for you to come out and join us at Oliver Twist. Come have a drink. Come have a cocktail. Come eat some dinner while we do the show. We'll hang out always after for a bit, and hope to see a lot of you out there. If you can't make it out there, remember you can always watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube or Facebook. I know a lot of you are listening or watching in parts outside of Baton Rouge. If you are, you can always watch T-Bob and me on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel for Scone and T. All right, quick break. We'll go around the SEC. Also, there was a text from, this was from Sean Comiskey, who said, Matt, what the heck on Justice Hill? Justice Hill and another LSU basketball player have entered the transfer portal. We'll get you caught up on that next here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. We mentioned Gavin Guidry just a bit ago. Had Gavin in studio earlier this week. Gordon and his team have clipped some of that. You're going to start to see it on all the social media. So make sure, if you're not yet, to follow Gordon on all the social media accounts. At Get Gordon. It's easy. At Get Gordon on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Follow all the great content that Gordon's putting out there. Not only are you getting to know Gordon the person, he's also putting out free legal advice, like what to do if you get pulled over by a police officer. What to do if you're in a car wreck. Like, a lot of that is just free legal advice that Gordon puts out on his social media. So make sure you're subscribed up and check that out. And, of course, you see a lot of the great content with all the G team, the Get Gordon athletes through the NIL partnerships Gordon's done with both male and female athletes with colleges and universities throughout the state of Louisiana. Check them out at all the social media channels. And if you've been injured and you need representation, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus. Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Moon Griffon is back. The voice of Louisiana politics makes his return to Baton Rouge. Catch the Moon Griffon Show weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. on Talk 107.3.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, so the first two LSU basketball Tigers have jumped into the transfer portal. The window stays open. It opened on March 13th, so it's actually been open for 9 days already. A little surprised it took this long for some of these guys to jump in the portal, but this window is open until May the 11th. So it's about a 2-month period that this portal window is open. And I mean, I think we all understand Matt McMahon is going to have to maximize this time to remake this roster. LSU was the worst team in the SEC this year. It was just abundantly clear they did not have the horses to compete. A lot of people have asked, is Matt McMahon the right guy for the job? I still believe so. If you have your doubts, I don't fault you for that coming off a season like that, but I also think realistically you had to have your expectations in check. I thought this team could have been, at its ceiling what Will Wade's team was his first year, a team that made the NIT, but you look back and you realize that team had Tremont Waters, that team had Skylar Mays, that team had dudes on it that played in the NBA. This LSU team has none of that. So Matt McMahon's got to go find dudes, and you're going to have to find some roster spots to open up. So Justice Hill entered the transfer portal. If you remember, point guard transferred in from Murray State. So he and KJ Williams were the two Murray State players that followed Matt McMahon to Baton Rouge. Started at point guard for the first 14 games of the season, took a personal leave from the team, came back and just played sparingly from there. The bottom line is Justice Hill was just not an offensive threat. He ended up shooting 29% from the floor for the season. Like, that's abysmal for a starting point guard in the SEC. So, this doesn't hurt you. It just doesn't. I mean, it was a player that lost his starting job and wasn't productive. The other player that's entered the portal is Kendall Coleman, and Coleman's a Louisiana guy from Shreveport who had been at Northwestern State. He was actually the first transfer Matt McMahon got last year when he was hired. And it's just a guy who at 6'8", what's he listed? 6'8", 230. Listed as a center. Just doesn't have the size, the length, of the athleticism to be able to bang at this level. So was probably better suited where he was, at a mid-major type program than in the SEC. So a lot of people have asked about numbers. First of all, neither of those players transferring should surprise you. Those were to be expected. So ear to ground, the roundabout number that I've been told is you're probably going to see LSU turn over about 6 roster spots. Keep in mind, KJ Williams and Parker Edwards were 2 seniors that graduated. So that's 2 of your scholarship spots. Edwards started his career as a walk-on but earned a scholarship. So that's 2 scholarship spots. Juice Hill, Kendall Coleman, that's 2 more, so that's 4. I would expect at least 2 more LSU players are going to enter the portal. Then the question becomes, okay, well, who do you add? Well, keep in mind, you've already got 2 signees. So you've got 4 already leaving, likely at least 2 more, which would make 6. But for now, 4 out the door if you're doing the math. You've already signed Chest and Williams, the 2 signees in this current class, which means you're likely going to be looking for about 4 transfer players to come in. And you have got to make over your backcourt. It's just proven in March. You cannot, I know it's cliche, but you cannot win without guard play. And there are players, and I'll say this again, on this platform as I have anywhere else it's asked, there are players from Louisiana who left this state to play college basketball who are better players than LSU had on the roster this year, that if you're Matt McMahon, you have got to go bring them home. It has got to be a similar approach as what Brian Kelly had year 1, where he said, I'm going to go find guys that want to wear that jersey. Guys, and I get it's different from football and basketball, but not for everybody. What I mean is, for basketball players, it's still your home state school. It's still the opportunity to play at LSU. It's still the school you grew up watching. I think that's where it's where Matt McMahon has got to start. You've got to start by seeing what kids from Louisiana at other schools around the country might jump into the portal and might have interest in coming back home to play for LSU and to get this thing going back in the right direction. Some of them mid-majors, some at Power 5 schools. But don't be surprised if that becomes an approach that Matt McMahon takes in this cycle. Louisiana kids who may have an opportunity to come play for the brand in Louisiana. That's what I'm at least anticipating here as the portal process begins in earnest for Matt McMahon in year 2. All right, it's after further review. I will go around the SEC in just a second. Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Remember, Michelli is hiring. You can always get to the website at Michelli.com and hit the careers tab at the top. And you can fill out, you can see all the jobs that are available, and you can fill out that application if you want a career instead of a job, if you want something that will allow you to grow and work for a great local company that's been around for 76 years. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Remember, if you are a business owner in any of many different industries that weigh or measure something and you need your precision measurement devices calibrated, Michelli is the answer. They're already our nation's largest distributor of scales, but if you need your devices calibrated, Michelli can help. Go to Michelli.com to see all that they offer. ISO 17025 accredited calibration is available, and they're always looking for technicians. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. Okay, Taylor Calandro coming up shortly. Right now, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky safety Vito Tisdale. Hey, Vito. He missed the entire 2022 season after suffering a torn ACL and meniscus. He's been dismissed from the team for a violation of team rules. As a matter of fact, Kentucky put it out on their official Twitter that he's been dismissed. It's harsh. 6'1", 200-pound senior was expected to assume a full-time starting role in the secondary last year before he tore his ACL and meniscus in spring. It was expected to be a starter this year. Now Vito Tisdale dismissed from the Kentucky team.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia will be without one of its tight ends for the remainder of spring practice. Freshman Pierce Spurlin suffered a collarbone injury that has required surgery. Spurlin signed with Georgia in 2023. He was the number 2 overall tight end in the country. Georgia looking to restock that room. It lost 4 tight ends this offseason, including Eric Gilbert and Darnell Washington.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn's losing a veteran linebacker to the transfer portal. Cam Brown, a fifth-year junior. He's entered the transfer portal at the end of the spring semester. He'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining. A 6', 244-pounder was part of the 2019 recruiting class, but played in just 2 games during his Auburn career. He's the younger brother of former Auburn All-American Derek Brown.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Bama men's basketball assistant coach Brian Hodgson is being hired at Arkansas State as the new head coach of the Red Wolves. They fired Mike Bellotto earlier this month. Hodgson's 35 years old, served the past 8 seasons as an assistant for Nate Oates, including the past 4 at Alabama. He played a large role in Alabama's recruiting efforts. He worked closely with the front court players. Hodgson joined Charlie Henry among Oates' assistants leaving for head coaching jobs. Henry got the head gig at Georgia Southern.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
And Mississippi State announced on Wednesday it's got a new official mascot in waiting. How about this? Formerly known as Bully the 22nd. Not formerly known as Bully the 22nd. He's a live English bulldog who's been named Dak in honor of Dak Prescott. Why are you rolling your eyes? Ain't bad.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Dak, Bully the 22nd, officially takes the reins from Jack, Bully the 21st, during the spring game, during a halftime passing of the harness ceremony.
Now it's not cool anymore.
You don't like passing of the harness?
No.
How'd you formally do that?
Yeah, I mean, the dogs
There
don't
you
have
go.
thumbs. He's going to take the harness. Just some random guy's going to do this.
There you go.
I like that.
I do like their dogs, though.
Yeah, and
Their
I like
dogs are
Dak.
cool.
Like I think that's cool.
D-A-K, and Jack, by the way, was J-A-K.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I like that. That's
Dak
cool.
and Jack. I guess the problem I have, there you have it, that is around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. You need office equipment, they're the best. National leader among Savin dealers. They'll service all makes and models. Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. The problem I guess I have is, if you're Jack, don't you feel a little slighted here?
Yeah.
It feels like you should reign until, your reign ends. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know he doesn't want to be bullied?
Seriously.
Anymore? Maybe maybe he'd be really cool, like sitting in his little dog house on a bag of ice until he passes away. I mean, you're just taking it from him? Why? I don't get it.
Should they have gone Leach instead of Dak?
No.
No.
Jack to Dak. And do you really want to name a dog after your deceased coach?
I mean, I don't know. I don't
know that that's a great honor.
Okay.
I don't know. Build him a statue, fly a flag.
Yeah.
But then again, Mike Leach loved animals.
I was about to say, if there's any coach,
maybe so.
Would have been down for it.
Maybe so. Okay, it's after further review. Haleigh Bryant's going to join us in about 30 minutes from right now. National champion LSU gymnast. If you missed it, she's the one who had 3 perfect 10s in the West Virginia meet a couple of weeks ago. Haleigh Bryant, about 30 minutes from right now. When we come back, Taylor Calandro. Let's talk some booze on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by ProCharge. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com. I was talking to the ProCharge guys earlier today. This is pretty cool. If you drive an EV, the latest ProCharge juice box, the charger that they set up, is at the HUDCO office on Perkins. The next person to go by and use that charger, again, pull in, there's a big green spot, it's tap to pay. The next person to pull in off of Perkins Road and use that charger, take a picture, post it on social, tag ProCharge at ProCharge EV. They're going to give you an RFID card for free charging at any juice box across Baton Rouge for a month. Just literally the next person to go use it. Just pull in on Perkins Road right there by Wimbledon. It's near Perkins Row. It's at the HUDCO office on Perkins Road. You can't miss it. It's ProCharge EV. Go to ProChargeEV.com. Electric vehicle charging stations for your home or office. ProChargeEV.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Problems with education, mental health, and substance abuse are fueling the violence we're seeing in Baton Rouge. That's according to Chief Murphy Paul, who addressed the Rotary Wednesday. Chief Paul also says the police department is focusing on repeat offenders, but in order to change the culture of violence, the city needs to invest in programs to stop that violence early. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The best kept.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's do it. Talk some booze. Back from the motherland, Louisville, Kentucky. It's Taylor Calandro. How are you, dude?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not a lot. Tell us, how was it, man?
It was good. It was a short trip. We left Wednesday and came back Friday. But I love Louisville. Every time we go, it's great. We spent Thursday in Bardstown. We went to Luxrow. We stopped by Heaven Hill.
Oh.
We stopped by Willett.
Did you give me anything?
They didn't have anything in Willett. They didn't have anything anywhere.
Heaven Hill?
I mean, I got some T-shirts.
Heaven Hill? No?
Nothing. They had some Elijah Craig toasted barrel, but
no?
man, it's a barren wasteland up there.
Wow. Why do you think so?
It's because whiskey's so popular now. I mean, that's the only thing I can come up with. We used to go to the distillery, especially Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill used to have stuff sitting in their gift shop for several days, but now I don't think they do. And all the distilleries we went to, they've all done major renovations and put tons of money into them too. So it's still wonderful up there, and I mean, we have a good time. So,
well,
but yeah, we picked a barrel of Rebel and a barrel of Ezra Brooks that should be coming down the pipe in the next 5 or 6 months. So.
Very cool. So what is new right now?
We don't really have anything new whiskey-wise. We did get some of the Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola literally co-branded pre-mixed in a can stuff.
Jack and Coke?
Jack and Coke, but it's not just Jack and Cola. It's Jack and Coca-Cola.
Of course it is. What else would you use?
Well, Jack used to have Jack and Cola, but it wasn't Coca-Cola. I don't know what they used, but it's co-branded, and they're coming out with a zero pretty soon too. Those are $12.99 a 4-pack, and we also got a drop of Burial beer. We get Burial from Asheville like once a year, and last week was the week we got it. So for beer people will know about it.
So no, that's what I was going to ask. Are we moving more? Obviously, into spring, we're moving more into beer season. I know like beers change seasonally as well. So what are craft breweries doing right now seasonally for spring?
You know, there used to be a calendar for this kind of stuff, but I mean, you can kind of move through the year in general with different styles of beer. Right now, you'll see breweries start put out lighter IPAs or session IPAs or lighter sour stuff like that, just for the springtime. You'll see more stouts and porters and stuff around fall and winter when it gets a little cooler outside. But you're moving into like the fresher, crisper beers this time of year.
Okay,
which I love.
Let's give me one. Well, give me something you enjoy drinking right now, and I'll get some questions.
What do I enjoy drinking right now? Man, I love the new double IPA from Parrish, Murphy. I've had a bunch of that. And they also have their whole sips line from Parrish is great for this time of year. When it gets hot outside, they're fruited Berliners, just light sours basically. Really nice when you're just sitting outside. And they have all different kinds of flavors of that right now.
I had Murphy last week, by the way, which is the Parrish double IPA that Taylor referenced. I had it last week at Oliver Twist on tap.
It's good. It's a good double IPA.
It was very good.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some questions here. You can always get your questions in for Taylor. You can email us, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Thank you, Juice. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Ethan Mott said, ask Taylor, best unfiltered whiskey for under $80.
Oh, man. My favorite unfiltered whiskey right now, and I'm probably going to get hate for this, and I don't care. It's our Blue Note barrel. It's $40.
Okay.
It's uncut, unfiltered, and it's half the price of 80. So I'm going to go with that, and it's 120 proof. So I like higher proof stuff. It's really good for what you're paying for.
It's something we say often, man. Just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's good, and just because something's good doesn't mean it's expensive. So
absolutely not, man. Most of the Weller is under $50 if it's retail.
Right? Exactly. Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what fictional bar from a movie, book, or TV show would you most like to visit? That's a good question.
Holy cow, Jesus. Whatever the bar is in the office, I can't remember what the bar is in the office, but that's where I would want to go.
Why?
Because The Office is my favorite TV show of all time, and I can't remember the name. And my office people are going to kill me, but it's an Irish bar that the office people go to after work.
Do either of you know it offhand?
I can't remember it either.
I think it's called Murphy's, maybe. I don't remember, but it would be that because The Office is my all-time favorite show ever.
I'm thinking I'm thinking about like Euro Trip. Remember that cheesy movie, like one of the bars like the soccer hooligans were in or something like that? Like that sounds like that would be fun to go have a pint with a bunch of soccer hooligans.
I've been to bars in Ireland and they're like that. It's wild. Like if you run into a stag party, which is a bachelor party, they'll start singing and stuff in the bar. Like just it's crazy. Those people like to have a good time.
Darian Weston said, will the Rebel and Ezra picks be cask strength?
In quotation marks. So it will be proofed down like whatever percentage point it is around that, whatever the whole number is, it will be. So in quotation marks, cask strength. It'll be like 0.3 percentage points proofed down with water, which is nothing.
Okay.
So, yes, they will be cask strength, but in quotation marks, yes.
He is Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director at Calandro's. Joins us for a little Whiskey Wednesday, a little Bourbon Dictionary every single Whiskey Wednesday. Thank you, dude. We appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Be well. It's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, the New Orleans Saints have signed 2 more free agents, one of their own, and another who's a former first-round draft pick. We'll tell you about him when we come back to kick off Hour 2 of AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. You want to look and feel like your younger self, you can, with the help of the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I tell you every day, a simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Don't be scared of this. Don't be intimidated by this. Look at it as a way for a medical doctor, Dr. Todd Howell, whose background is in emergency medicine before he opened up the Aesthetic Medicine Clinic, to look at your blood labs to see if there's potentially things that are going on with you that could be fixed. Safely, affordably supplementing you to get you feeling like your younger self again. It's the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. 2 locations. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. It's right near Perkins. Gorgeous clinic. You can't miss it. And Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Or always online at theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Developing story. Clippers guard Paul George, diagnosed with a sprained knee, out at least 2 weeks. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports he'll be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. George is one of 2 players LA can't afford to be without for an extended period of time, believes First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
Paul George with Kawhi Leonard. When one of them is missing, all right, and in this case it's Paul George, it just seems like all their hopes just plummet. You would like to believe that one of them could hold down the fort to get you beyond the play-in, to get you to the first round, even beyond the first round. But I don't look at this Clippers team as being that kind of team that can pull that off.
Grizzlies point guard John Morant is expected to return tonight versus the Rockets. He's back with the team after completing an 8-game suspension from the NBA for conduct detrimental to the league. NFL adding draft capital for a potential trade for quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The Jets sent receiver Elijah Moore and a 2023 third-round pick to the Browns for a second-round pick. Rodgers last week expressed his intention to play for the Jets this season.
A championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. So for parts that fit, head to eBay Motors and look for the green check. Stay in the game with eBay Guaranteed Fit. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusu. And Mississippi Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Real quick, the Vandy Whistler didn't actually die. Do you remember this a couple of weeks ago? We talked about this.
I do remember this.
There was a report, and it seemed completely legitimate. Like news outlets carried the story that the Vandy Whistler had died. And there was a guy on the text line, Ray, who asked me about him. Yesterday we mentioned how LSU's not going to play Florida or Vandy this year.
Yeah.
They kind of catch a break avoiding two really good teams.
Right.
And he texted the show and said, thank God no Vandy Whistler. And I replied, RIP. Because...
Right, yeah.
Now, I guess he didn't know, right? And so he replied, oh, he died? Well, I went to go look up the story to send him a link, and upon looking up, after further review...
Hey, there it is.
Can I get a ding?
Sure.
That feels dingable.
Okay.
Got it. Vandy Whistler. This is at the Tennessean. This is the Nashville newspaper. The Tennessean. Vandy Whistler, Jeff Pack, facing son's ALS diagnosis, deals with hoax reports of his own death.
Bro.
Guy didn't actually die, and his son has ALS. Oh, man. That's a bad one to miss.
But also, how well known have you made yourself for just annoying folks on television that they're running death hoaxes about you that are actually that are requiring a newspaper like the Tennessean to be like, hey, y'all, he ain't dead.
He ain't dead. But it also goes to show you the retraction never gets as much publicity as the initial story. Like, I I didn't even see that it was a hoax. And that was on, when was this story of the hoax? Oh, Tennesseans got a paywall. Never mind, Tennessee. I don't care about your story. Anyway, so the Vandy Whistler, not actually dead. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're living.
I'm thankful that you didn't meet your untimely end. All right. It's after further review. By the way, if you missed it earlier today, Zion Williamson, great news. Hit me with a little breaking news sounder, Muse. Come on now, we got news. This is news. Zion Williamson has been cleared to return to on-court activity. Let's go. Big Z. They're going to reevaluate him in 2 weeks. Wait a minute. I thought he could return. No. He can just go back to on-court activity, like light jog and things like that. Free throws. They'll reevaluate again in 2 weeks.
And what's in 2 weeks?
The end of the season.
Okay, that's it. All right. Woo.
Oh, man. What did our poll end up yesterday? Yesterday, our Twitter poll was...
did you care? Yeah.
Do you care about Pelicans, Spurs?
Look back up real fast.
And when I think we looked at it at one point late in the show, it was like 80-20 no. Now, part of it's obviously because the Spurs stink as well. But, when you're down to the final 2 weeks of the season, you're battling for a play-in spot. I can understand that there would be at least some interest.
It ended 83-16.
83% said no. What do you think that number would have been in December when the Pelicans were leading the Western Conference?
Probably the reversed the other way. 83%, yes.
Yeah. Unimaginable what has happened to that team. All right, it's after further review. LSU National Championship gymnast Haleigh Bryant in about 10 minutes from right now. The Saints keep spending money, man. It just goes to show you what a farce the cap is. We always say there's no such thing as cap hell. Because you can keep manipulating the cap, keep buying with credit, and the Saints keep doing it. And they keep ending up putting themselves in situations where they're trying to win now, and they mortgage their future for it. But onward they go. They've added a couple of more players here on Wednesday. One of them is their own. Malcolm Roach, defensive tackle, has re-signed with the New Orleans Saints. That's per Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. It's a one-year deal. If you remember, Roach is a guy from Baton Rouge who went to the University of Texas, was undrafted in 2020, and joined the New Orleans Saints, made the team. And Roach is one of those guys that I think is a great example of surpassing expectations. When you make a team as an undrafted free agent, you've already done that. But remember, now look, I would love that every undrafted free agent would be like what Shai Tuttle was at that position, right? But to make the team and then to contribute is pretty big. And remember, as a rookie, Malcolm Roach played in 9 games. That was in 2020 during the COVID year. But last year 2021 was really more significant because he played in 7 games. He started twice. And I bring that up because remember, that was the year where David Onyemata served his suspension. They had traded Malcolm Brown. You lost Sheldon Rankins in free agency, so you had massive turnover at defensive tackle. And so Roach was a guy who filled that gap a little bit. And then this past year, his 3rd year in the league, he played the most of his career. He played 13 games, started 3 times, and has become a solid rotational contributor on your defensive front. So in a year where you lost Onyemata, you lost Shai Tuttle. At least you're able to keep Malcolm Roach. And so when you look at the numbers there, you bring in Nathan Shepard, you bring in Colin Saunders, you had Prince Emili on the practice squad already, and now you re-sign Malcolm Roach. You're not done. We still have to see what happens with Kentavious Street, who's a free agent they could very well bring back. And I am assuming, as are many of you, that the Saints are going to draft an interior defensive lineman very high in this draft at some point. So congrats to Malcolm Roach. He's sticking around on another 1-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. He'll be able to contribute. I'm not going to say of greater importance, but something that's going to garner more headlines than that is anytime you sign a former first-round draft pick. And the Saints did that on Wednesday as well. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler had it first. The Saints are signing veteran safety Jonathan Abram. That name probably sounds familiar. He finished his college career at Mississippi State. He was all SEC. He led Mississippi State in tackles for a couple of seasons and was a first-round draft pick of the then Oakland Raiders. A little bit of his backstory, because I kind of like this signing. Abram signed with Georgia in 2015. Okay, so right off the bat, if you have an offer from Georgia and you sign at Georgia, you're a good player. So he signed at Georgia. After 1 year, left and went JUCO. In 2017, he was back in the SEC at Mississippi State, where he started in 2017, 2018. In 2018, he was first-team All-SEC. He got some All-America recognition as well. He led Mississippi State in tackles. He was a really good defensive back. Played both corner and safety during times in college, but was drafted by the Raiders ultimately as a safety. Now, here's the little caveat. Jonathan Abram, his reputation in the NFL is that he is very poor in pass coverage. He's a very good box defender and a run stuffer, but he is bad in coverage. Pro Football Focus graded him out at 47.1 last year as in pass coverage. He is bad. That's not a strength of his. But in high school, he was a linebacker. So this is a guy who, 6 feet tall, over 200 pounds, was a high school linebacker, see ball, hit ball, run sideline to sideline, gets into the SEC. They convert him to a safety, which is common because you got a guy that's athletic, can run like that. You could play him at safety, or you can bulk him up to 240 and keep him at linebacker. Well, they moved him to safety. Play him in the box, let him go run around, use his athleticism. And he was good enough to be all SEC, lead the team in tackles, and become a first-round draft pick. The problem Abram ran into were injuries. Played just one game his rookie season, went on IR with a shoulder injury. Came back in 2020, played in 13 games. 21, played in 14 games, had more shoulder issues then. And then this past year, he played in 15 games, but for 3 different teams. He started the season with the Raiders, was let go, was picked up by the Packers, played for 2 games with the Packers, was let go again, then was picked up by the Seahawks, and he finished out the season there. Now he's a free agent, and he's signing with the New Orleans Saints. So if you're the Saints, you look at this and you realize this is still a young player. This is only his 5th year. He's entering his 5th year in the league. He didn't have his 5th-year option picked up by the team that drafted him. But he's only a 5th-year player in the NFL. So still a young guy, still physically gifted enough to have been a first-round draft pick. Injuries have set him back a little bit, but he is more known as a box safety and a guy that can defend the run, which what were the Saints terrible at this past year? Run defense. They were 24th in the NFL in run defense. I'm not telling you that Jonathan Abram stepping in and is going to be a starter for the New Orleans Saints. I'm not even telling you he's going to make the team, because all of a sudden that safety room has gotten pretty crowded. Let me remind you, Tyrann Mathieu back and Marcus May is back. Hopefully both are healthy. And Tyrann was your leading tackler a year ago at that safety position. I'm not telling you Jonathan Abram's coming in to take Tyrann Mathieu's job, certainly when he's not able to cover the way that Tyrann is. But after that, look at the rest of your safeties. You re-signed J.T. Gray, who's a backup safety for you, but is primarily a special teamer. He's a Pro Bowl special teamer. You brought in Ugo Amadi this offseason. We talked earlier this week about signing Lonnie Williams, former second-round pick who played at Kentucky, who's been in the league. You got Smoke Monday. Remember Smoke Monday from Auburn, who was going to make the team a year ago, signed as an undrafted free agent, injured himself, and missed the season. But he's still there, and he'll be in camp trying to make the roster. And now you add Jonathan Abram. So you're talking about 5, outside of J.T. Gray. If you include J.T. Gray, it's 5 safeties trying to win backup roles behind Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May. And J.T. Gray is going to win one of them. So you may only have a spot, maybe 2, depending on skill set, availability, all that stuff. And you got a pretty crowded room of dudes who are accomplished. Like we talked about, man. I mean, Smoke Monday, there was a lot of expectation a year ago. Lonnie Williams, former second-round pick. Jonathan Abram, former first-round pick. You got dudes that have ability. It's just a matter of can they stay healthy. And I look back to what the Saints did a year ago when they brought in Justin Evans. And Evans was a guy who was a second-round pick of Tampa, was an effective player, got injured, missed basically 3 years, was out of football for 3 years. And the Saints took a flyer on him. And he was healthy. He stayed healthy, made the team, and played for the team last year, both defense and special teams. Maybe they do that again this year with Lonnie Williams or Jonathan Abram. So keep an eye on those guys, man. Anytime that you have someone with that ability, like we saw it with Kevin White, the wide receiver, right? Former top 10 overall pick in the draft who keeps getting opportunities because the ability, the physical ability is so tantalizing. And you just wonder if you could ever maximize that ability and the light switch goes off. You've got a bargain. So maybe the Saints have done the same here with Jonathan Abram. So they've added another safety. Been busy spending in free agents. Jonathan Abram and Malcolm Roach both signing with the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have spent the third most money in free agency. A team that entered this offseason $55 million over the cap has not only cleared that cap space, but has now spent the third most amount in free agency. God bless Kai Haleigh. Okay, let me knock out a break. We're brought to you by Pluckers, Hump Day shows all throughout the year. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. It's Pluckers. You like our wings. We'll give you the bird. Now I got a quick break. Come back. Haleigh Bryant, LSU gymnast, national champion, All-American, as the Tiger gymnastics team is gearing toward regionals coming up a week from Friday. We're looking forward to chatting with Haleigh. That's coming up next here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time. Or you don't pay a dime. Give them a buzz, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You know where to find them online, and you know where to find them all over town. Just look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You can't miss it. Love sharing 5-star reviews. Here's one from Gilbert RV about Chris Ainsworth, his technician. He said, Chris Ainsworth was courteous and professional. While he was very personable, he was focused on the task at hand. He and his assistant were extremely thorough and knowledgeable. Another 5-star Google review for River City's 1 hour air. Tell you every day, look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side and take advantage of the preseason AC tune-up. Save $25 off of it just by mentioning the show. Mention the Moscona special. Boom, $25 off your preseason AC tune-up at River City's 1 hour air. Give them a buzz. Do it right now. Don't wait. 752-0001, 752-0001, whether they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll get some overrated, underrated, about 10 minutes from right now. Also, next hour, ESPN does this every year. They do their future quarterback rankings, like what quarterback positions will look like at schools over the next 3 years, and they rank them. I want to get to that coming up to start hour number 3, so some football talk coming up. I've always acknowledged, love gymnastics. Family has been into it. The gym meets are a ton of fun, and they got regionals coming up a week from Friday as LSU starts its quest for its first ever gymnastics national championship. And someone who's going to help lead the way is national champion, All-American gymnast Haleigh Bryant, who is good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes today. Haleigh, we appreciate the time. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm curious. I'm reading through all of your accolades on your bio. Where do you keep all of the trophies?
Honestly, I have some with me here, but some of them, like the bigger ones, are kind of at home. I kind of keep them there.
I want to ask about the West Virginia meet. I'm sure everyone's talked to you 100 times about it already, but you did something. Look, LSU gymnastics has been around for more than 50 years, and you did something that's never been done. When you do something that's never been done in a half a century, it's obviously notable, but 3 perfect 10s in one meet. Like, what did you eat that day? Like, how do you wake up and go nail 3 perfect 10s in a meet?
It was honestly crazy, like in the moment. But I knew I just had to tell myself to do what I do every single day and to not change anything I do. And I went out there like one skill at a time, one routine at a time, and didn't get ahead of myself. And the results played out, and I'm just really excited that I could do it for myself and for this team.
Like when you woke up that day, like did you feel different? Like because every athlete has different superstitions or like intuition. Like did you feel different that day?
Honestly, not really. I honestly probably was more tired than normal. And I was kind of like, okay, just trust yourself, trust in all the training you put in inside the gym, and just take it like one more meet.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to watch. And then, of course, it goes viral. It's like on ESPN's Twitter and Instagram and everywhere. Like when you left the gym that day, like when did you realize, or did you realize in the moment, like how spectacular that was?
Honestly, it hit me kind of after, like right after the competition. Like everybody was texting me, just saying how proud they were of me, and it kind of hit me the next day. I was like, wow, I really just did something special, but I couldn't do without all my teammates and my coaches and my family. So just doing it for them and just, yeah.
Haleigh Bryant is our guest. Do you have? I mean, you're obviously just amazing in the all around, but like, do you have a favorite skill that you had to master?
Both, probably my favorite event. Just I feel like that's the one that comes the most naturally for me. I'm more of a powerful athlete than like the graceful kind of type. So both definitely the favorite.
Were any of them more challenging skills? Like when do you feel like in your career that you mastered vault, or like when that became your favorite skill?
Honestly, since the very beginning of my gymnastics career, I think it's just always been one that came the most natural, and just kind of working with my coaches and working with everybody to do the best I can do on that event is something I've really been focused on.
What's been the hardest skill to master?
Definitely just bars in general. I think I kind of learned in college kind of swing the bar a little more, because it's really hard if you just like muscle through the bar. Tina and Jay always told me to let the bar swing, let the bar kind of do it for you, really. And I really learned that through my college career here.
So on bar with the grips, or do you use water bottle or do you go all natural and spit?
I use water. Some of my teammates spit on their grips, but I'm just with the normal water bottle.
Haleigh Bryant is our guest here for a couple of more minutes. I think as we look back to the beginning of this season, it's been talked about a lot, but you all look, the competition was stiff, but you lost 4 of the first 5 meets, and obviously this team now has caught fire. When you were going through that in the first month, what was the sort of the vibe or the attitude among the team, not having the team success that you all wanted early?
I think it was just kind of doing what we do every single day and not getting ahead of ourselves onto the competition floor, because we see it every single day in the gym, and just translating it over and just taking it one skill at a time and one routine at a time. And we kind of try harder when we get to a competition, but we don't need to do that because our normal is enough. So when we get out to the competition floor, we kind of tell ourselves, don't put any more effort, don't put any less effort, because normal's enough. Was there a moment this season or a meet this season where you all felt like collectively you kind of hit your stride? I feel like all meets we've gotten better, but after Florida, I feel like that really boosted everybody's confidence on this team, and I think we really realized that we've lost some key players, but we're still in the hunt, and we're still there, and did not count us out yet, so I think that gave us a lot of confidence after Florida. Got a couple more for you. I always find it fascinating. Like, so my family is like, I got a lot of family members that have gone through gymnastics, so I've been around it and watching it. Look, I'm like a 6 foot, 230-pound guy. I'm not graceful or powerful at all in the way that you are. And to watch gymnastics is, it's pretty incredible, the feats that you all go through. But like, as fans watch, I'm curious, like, how you prepare for a meet, in the sense that, for a football player, you spend all week, like you ramp up and then ramp down, getting ready for a game. Basketball, it's going to be more like you want to make sure you get your shots up during the week, but you want to have fresh legs for a game. What is a week like for you preparing for a meet? Normally in the beginning of the week, we focus on the basics and just like the little techniques we're trying to correct coming out off of the past meet. And then towards the end of the week is when we kind of start getting back into routines. And then on Friday or Thursdays, we always do an inter squad to replicate the competition on Friday. So starting with the basics and building up to routines throughout the whole week is normally what our week looks like. Look, you got regionals coming up. Do you have a favorite event that you all participate in, or a favorite venue or something like that? Honestly, no, not really. We're not really particular on where we compete or what equipment we're using, because we just know we have to go out there and do our normal gymnastics, and everybody's coming to this arena and everybody's using the same equipment in front of the same judges. So we know we just have to do our normal gymnastics, and that's going to be enough. What would it mean to bring LSU its first gymnastics national championship? It would mean absolutely everything. I know this team is working so hard, and that's everybody's goal. So just taking it one day at a time and just doing what we know how to do, and not looking too far into the future in a national championship, but just taking it one day at a time and one meet at a time to kind of get us where we want to go. All-American national champion. She is the amazing Haleigh Bryant. You can follow her on Instagram at _Haleigh Bryant. Follow her on all the social media platforms there as well. Tiger Gymnastics got regionals coming up a week from Friday on the 31st. We'll be watching. We'll be pulling for you. Haleigh, we appreciate a couple of minutes today. Thanks so much. Thank you. Of course, that is Haleigh Bryant. This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. Remember, I tell you all the time about the Volkswagens, but remember, they have certified pre-owned vehicles there, and they have a really good inventory. When people come buy their new Volkswagen, they generally trade in their old car, which means South Point has a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, all different makes and models. So I highly encourage you, if you're shopping for a pre-owned vehicle, you can go hit up the used car lots, but make sure, do yourself a favor and shop the inventory at South Point Volkswagen. Go to the website. You'll see the used cars tab at the top. You see all the certified pre-owned vehicles,
Kerry Manuel, the certified pre-owned manager, does a fantastic job keeping the inventory up to date, moving those cars. So if you're looking for new or certified pre-owned, make sure it's South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. For South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? I appreciate Haleigh Bryant for being with us. Taylor Calandro was here last hour. We do have some LSU football talk coming up in 30 minutes from right now. I want to talk about the future quarterback rankings that ESPN's put out. Also, what Brian Kelly said after practice on Tuesday about Jaden Daniels and this quarterback competition here, or let me not call it a competition, about his quarterbacks this spring. That's coming up in 30 minutes from right now. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll do some overrated, underrated when we return on AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Excellent, excellent, excellent realtor. Darren's been the #1 realtor in the state for several years, and when you hire him, you'll immediately see why. Very knowledgeable, professional, communicates well. Our house was sold within 8 hours. We got a full price offer, and he helped us best negotiate repairs. Darren and his team are just as responsible and professional. Hire Darren James to sell your house, and you will not be disappointed. A 5-star Google review from the Jenks family that was put up late in 2022. If you are buying or selling a home, why in the world would you call anyone else other than the realtor with the processes to get your home sold faster, for more money, in as stress-free an environment as possible? Hire Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, rolling along here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Thanks for being here with us. Remember, T-Bob and I will be over at Oliver Twist tonight, 7 o'clock for Scone and Tea, right there on Perkins. We encourage you to come join us. If you can't, you can always watch on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. So thanks to everybody who does tune in on the YouTube channel every day, live or on demand. And remember, you can always watch us for Scone and Tea there on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. It's 7 o'clock on Wednesdays from Oliver Twist. All right, we got super busy last week. I forgot what happened last Wednesday, but we didn't get to overrated, underrated. Maybe, was that when Lopez called us, like, oh, no, it was in the 5 o'clock hour.
That was like 5:15. What was it? It was the LSU scheduling stuff for football with the trip
Verge.
to
That's right.
Vegas.
Verge was very good to call us in the break and sort of clarify a lot of that. So that's exactly what. Oh, you know what else? Did you see? So news broke this week that Florida State is going to they're going to play week 0 in Ireland against Georgia Tech. Did you see this?
In 23 for this season?
Did you see the news?
No.
Okay. Well, some of you were sending that to me like, here we go again. Florida State opening up with a week 0 game. I'm like, hey, simmer down. It's 2024. Okay? They're opening in Ireland in 20. Like, how stupid. So everyone that made the case a year ago about Florida State playing the week 0 game, I don't blame you. Like, if LSU had the tune-up, I think the game is different. And many of you may feel the same way. But can you imagine going to Ireland?
That's what I was just about to say.
You go to Ireland to play a conference game, week 0, then fly back from Ireland, jet lag, all this the time, and have to get ready to play LSU. Yeah, that doesn't seem super ideal. If you could, who did they play last year?
Duquesne.
Yeah. If you could play FCS Duquesne on your home field, a little hitch out your giddy up, fine. Going to Ireland to play a conference game before you play LSU is stupid. Remember that with Utah last year with Florida? Like, they had to go to Florida. Their plane got all messed up. I think did they end up having to drive back to Utah, or they had to wait an extra day? I
think they waited an extra day.
It was something crazy like that. It finally got home. I mean, it totally threw off their whole game week schedule prep, everything. Like, can you imagine being in Ireland the week before you play LSU?
Yeah, no. I mean, they're going to have, in 2024, they're going to have a bye after that, is what's going to happen. Because you get 2 byes with that week 0.
Well, it's that, or do what Nebraska did this past year. Nebraska, remember, went and played Northwestern.
Yep.
And then they came home and they played somebody who upset them, didn't they?
Yeah, because they lost their first 2 games. It was some FCS school. But I think Northwestern had a bye.
Did I say Northwestern or be Nebraska? I said Nebraska, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying Nebraska got upset by some FCS school, and then I think they fired Scott Frost. But Northwestern took a bye, I'm almost positive, after the trip to Ireland.
North Dakota.
They
beat North Dakota. Nebraska played Northwestern, came home, beat North Dakota, but then lost to Georgia Southern.
That's what it was.
They stink.
Oh, they were terrible.
It's so bad. All right. It's after further review. Real quick, we're going to do overrated, underrated. Quick reminder, Traction Sports Easter camps. I've been going to keep telling you about them. They've got their speed camp, and they got their baseball camp. I'll give you the details, but if you're looking for your son or daughter something to do the week of Easter when they're off of school, the week after Easter, right, when they're off of school, Traction has great options. The Easter Speed Camp, that is hosted and coached by Tevin Moten. He's the best. There's no better performance trainer like all the pro athletes that go work out at Traction. They work out with Tevin. He'll be working with your son or daughter April 10th, 11th, and 12th from 9 to noon. That's ages 10 and older. April 10th, 11th, 12th, ages 10 and up, 9 to noon. And then they've got the baseball camp the full week, the 10th through the 14th, full and half-day options. And that's ages 5 to 10. So, speed camp, baseball camp at Traction, the week of Easter. Learn more, tractionsports.com, TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. Okay, Muse, let's do a little overrated, underrated, shall we? We shall.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Mac and cheese.
Okay, now I have a real question of differentiation.
Okay, what you got?
Are we talking about like the boxed mac and cheese that's
So
like
good.
hard noodles with crappy cheese that you throw in the microwave? That, or are we talking about like authentic homemade truffled mac and cheese that you can get at a restaurant, or that like my mom makes for Easter, like that sort of stuff?
Do you want to do both, or do you want me to differentiate? And we can do both. I just kind of know where I think you're going.
Okay,
with
like
that.
the mac and cheese in a box is total crap.
Oh, it's so
like
good.
it's crap, but maybe it's affordable. So if you want to eat it, no judgment here. Like the actual macaroni and cheese, like truffled mac and cheese, lobster mac and cheese, so many things you can make a legit dish out of, is amazing. And I don't know how anybody could not like that. If you don't, I can't help you. So that, because it's not universally loved, criminally underrated.
The baked mac and cheese on Thanksgiving is one of my favorite foods.
My mom
ever.
makes it. It's awesome.
One of my favorite foods ever.
Magnificent.
So
But the crap in a box that you throw in the microwave, awful.
I eat that
Get
too.
rid of
It's
it.
delicious.
Get rid of it.
Overrated or underrated? Yoga.
Oh, underrated. Everyone should do yoga. Everyone. We don't stretch and move our bodies enough. A lot of the injuries we have are preventable with proper stretching. Some people get confused with all the ohms and all that stuff with yoga. Like, really, it's just about functionally moving your body in ways that you don't normally do. Flexibility helps you prevent injuries. It helps with your mindset, blood flow, everything. Yes, yoga is as many people as do yoga. The fact that everybody doesn't makes it underrated.
The prayer hands with yoga.
Yes.
That's always a good one.
Namaste.
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 Namaste. You gonna go? Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Overrated or underrated? Skeet shooting.
So when it comes to, I'm very consistent here. It's overrated. And I'm consistent here. Because leisure activities like this that involve some degree of skill that can't serve everyone are not fun for everyone. It's like golf. It's overrated. Something that's underrated is bowling. Because you can be the most uncoordinated person in the world. You could just drop a ball down the gully and you could have some success at it, right?
The gutter, what are they called?
The bumpers.
The bumpers, yeah.
Skeet shooting, I don't know how, like, you can't take a group skeet shooting. If people have no skill or how to shoot a gun, like, I'm going to a leadership event this weekend. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be there. Muse is going to host the show. One of the things we're doing is skeet shooting. I'm like, I'm just going to sit over here and drink whiskey. Y'all go have at it. I'm dead serious. I'm not shooting skeet. I've shot a gun a handful of times in my entire life. So overrated.
Okay. You're not even gonna give it a go? You're not gonna try?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Why? So I can.
Why not? I mean, you might be better at it than you think. Who knows? But you won't know if you don't try.
No, I know.
Okay. Overrated or underrated?
I'm gonna get into an argument with you like I did with Terry about the stupid World Baseball Classic. You weren't here.
No, I wasn't. I was hammered in Austin, Texas.
Were you hammered or were you high?
Oh, I was hammered.
Folly. Do you think he was hammered or high?
He was high.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It was Austin. I'm a weird over there.
Overrated or underrated? Steve Urkel.
Oh, look. Speaking of The Office, look, it's Phyllis and
Stanley.
Stanley. Huh, in a Cheerios commercial.
Stanley's so good. God, he's so good.
What did you say?
Steve Urkel.
The fact that in 2023 you asked me about Steve Urkel, and literally every human being listening knows who you're talking about, tells you how transformative and culturally iconic Steve Urkel was and is. Steve Urkel, underrated.
Okay, great character. I agree. Last one, overrated or underrated? The sauna.
A sauna or steam room?
Is there a difference?
Yeah, steam room has steam, sauna's dry heat.
Sauna, dry heat.
I mean, they're both magnificent for your health. I prefer steam to dry heat, but they're both magnificent for skin, for sweating, expelling impurities from your body. So underrated. Actually, I have one at my house.
A steam room.
Yeah.
Cool. That's overrated or underrated?
This is After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll knock out our final break of hour number 2. Muso. We'll have Tigers and the Pros when we come back to wrap up the hour and talk a little LSU football in 15. We'll talk some quarterback play here in about 15 minutes. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You go to Rouse's.com. 60 locations across the Gulf South. Golly, you know where Rouse's is. They're just the best. If you need all your dips and chips and everything for March Madness, get on by there. They always have great weekly specials as well over at Rouse's. My goodness, have you seen the latest right now? You want some meats? They got it. Ground fresh beef lean sirloin, $3.88 a pound. How about this? Avocados, 3 for $1. And fresh whole flounder, $5.99 a pound. My goodness, get on by Rouse. They got something for everybody. You want meals ready to go, made to order, dinners all ready for tonight. Stop in Rouse and grab it. Or you want your crawfish? They got them ready as well. Boiled, fresh, daily at their in-house boiling rooms. You want live crawfish for your own boil? Rouse's has you covered. But remember, you want to just grab and go crawfish tonight? Get by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Learn more at Rouse's.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And as always, you will never pay over MSRP. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day edition of AFR. A trivia night at Plucker, so make sure you get on by. We'll quiz Muse coming up with a little flavor. By the way, next, Muse, you're a big wrestling guy, right?
If it's current, it's not going to go well. But, yeah, I mean, it was for a long, long time.
Next week, wrestling trivia.
Okay. That could actually be really good.
Okay, we'll look forward to it.
But if they have anything like after 2017, I'm screwed.
Noted. All right, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Let's start in the world of the NFL. The New England Patriots, they're bringing back Jalen Mills. It'll be his 3rd year with the Patriots. So what happened is they cut him a couple days ago. They didn't want to pay the rest of his contract for what it's worth. He did have about 2 years left on that deal. So now it's just a 1-year deal. That's all we know. Don't know the exact terms of it yet. But he had 2 years remaining for $24 million. They didn't want to pay that. So 1-year deal. That's what it'll return. It'll be his 3rd year with the Patriots. He's been a starter for them and been very, very effective. So shout out Jalen Mills.
Shout out.
Kramer Robertson got the start yesterday for the St. Louis Cardinals over in spring training. Went 1 for 4, roped his 3rd double of the spring. Came off of Jonathan Gray for what it's worth. Kramer hitting .304 in the spring. Real nice. See if we can just stick with one team this year, though. He kind of got moved around a lot and ended up back where he started in St. Louis. Very interesting season for Kramer.
That was a very interesting season.
It was odd.
Who's Jonathan Gray playing for now?
It looks like the Washington Nationals, because that's who they were playing for.
Oh, the Nationals. Okay.
The Nationals, yes, indeed.
When Rockies, right?
The Rockies drafted him.
A's, Jonathan Gray? Did he go to A's? No?
I'm not sure. I mean, I can look it up, or I can click on his name, and we can find out.
Yeah, do that.
I'm sorry, it was Josiah Gray. So Jonathan Gray might actually be with the A's, Matt. Saw Jay Gray. Took a shot in the dark,
452.
Spelled the same.
Makes a lot of sense, Paulie.
Spelled the same.
Josiah Gray, Jonathan Gray.
Jay
the
Gray.
Letters got a little... You did see a J, didn't you?
No.
I bet you did, Panama Red.
Come on, you can't not do it right there.
I bet you did,
So
Panama
Josiah
Red.
Gray. Their point is...
Muse, you're better than that. Don't use the double negative.
You're right. But the point remains, Kramer Robertson having a nice spring with the Cardinals.
Hey, Paulie, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you spell Jonathan and Josiah?
That's not what
same?
I meant.
You do not.
Yeah,
Gray was spelled... Gray was the same.
Just keep on digging, Muse.
Why would it
you
be
are digging
Josiah
that
and
hole.
Jonathan? I
mean,
didn't
you
even
are
know it was
making this
Josiah.
way too easy,
That
man.
doesn't even make any sense.
Precisely.
Anyway, Andrew Stevenson.
I can't wait for what's next.
Is now with the Minnesota Twins and has finally joined the big club in spring training.
Okay.
Got some action yesterday. He was just in there to play defense, but good to see him back. You remember, Stevenson's had some injuries, man, that have really hampered him. He ended up getting demoted from the Nationals down to AAA to rehab those injuries. Never made his way back up at the big club, and now resides in Minnesota. So here's to hopefully a good year there for Andrew Stevenson. Steve-O, as the guys called him.
Stevie.
Hunter Fiducia is in spring training now with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Went 0 for 2 yesterday. Did have 2 walks and came around to score a run, though. Hitting .389 so far in limited action with the Dodgers is Hunter Fiducia. And we have some golf news to get to as well. The World Golf Championships match play is underway today. Sam Burns facing Adam Hadwin currently. That's match 21, if you're curious. And Sam Burns 2 up through 14 right now against Adam Hadwin. And Sam Burns, not really a big surprise, but he's going to play the Zurich Classic 2023. Did confirm that he'll team again with Billy Horschel. Billy Horschel has won the tournament twice in his career. Those two came very close last year, two polishing off the Zurich. Just fell short. They'll try to run it back and do it this year. That's Tigers in the Pros.
AFR will be at Zurich, by the way.
Shouts out.
We don't yet know if it's going to be the Thursday or the Friday. We've always been there the Friday of Zurich. I think Gordy was pushing for us to go Thursday this year, but I think logistically Friday is going to be better. But either way, we will be at Zurich. I'm excited to be down there. It's an awesome event, and we'll tell you more specifics. We'll be at the Walk-Ons tent at the 17th green for Zurich, so we'll look forward to seeing a lot of you there. Tigers in the Pros presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. They've been just great partners of ours here. We appreciate it so much. And, of course, how they've helped so many get engaged over the last 30-plus years. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, here comes Sports Center. We'll get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, we're taking a look at the future of the quarterback position at LSU. Don't you move.
AFR.
Had someone message me earlier this morning and say, I was doing morning scone. He said, hey, what's the mold company? The mold company is Mold Zero. Mold-0USA.com. I tell you every day, it's a patented, non-toxic dry fog treatment. We live in South Louisiana. A lot of people deal with mold. You don't have to remember it right now. You're always willing to call me or text me or tweet me or email me and say, hey, what's the mold company? And I'll gladly tell you who they are. Mold Zero. If you want to save, if you have mold, if you need remediation work, Mold Zero is going to be able to save you thousands of dollars. Call Jim Woodworth and let him explain the whole process to you and how you're going to be able to save compared to traditional mold removal or remediation companies. It's Mold Zero. It's quick. It's efficient. It works. It's patented. It's non-toxic. It's safe for your pets, for your family, for your plants. It's Mold Zero. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Problems with education, mental health, and substance abuse are fueling the violence we're seeing in Baton Rouge. That's according to Chief Murphy Paul, who addressed the Rotary Wednesday. Chief Paul also says the police department is focusing on repeat offenders, but in order to change the culture of violence, the city needs to invest in programs to stop that violence early. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. long live you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Imaging has revealed Clippers guard Paul George has a sprained right knee. He'll miss at least the next 2 weeks. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports he'll be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. Grizzlies expect to have their best player back in the lineup tonight versus the Rockets. Ja Morant set to return after serving an 8-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the NBA. Expect a motivated Morant from here on out, says ESPN's Matt Barnes.
He had basketball taken away for the first time ever, and it wasn't because of an injury. So I expect him to come back hungry. I expect him to come back excited, energetic. And if you look at it from a different kind of standpoint, he really got like 2 weeks off heading into the playoffs, which is not a terrible thing. So I expect him as an individual to be a monster tonight, and I expect Memphis to follow his lead.
Matt Barnes on Fitz and Harry. Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic will play tonight against the Warriors. Guard Kyrie Irving is out. Coverage in 1 hour, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. Adding draft capital for a potential trade for quarterback Aaron Rodgers, the Jets sent receiver Elijah Moore and a 2023 third-round pick to the Browns for a second-round pick. Rodgers last week expressing his intention to play for the Jets this season.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier to help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day, Mike.
Hump day.
It's the day where we learn Zion has been cleared to return to basketball activities.
It's hump day.
And it'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah. Do you think Zion plays? Do you think Zion plays? Do you think Zion plays?
No.
Paulie, do you think Zion plays?
No.
It's hump day.
Ask me.
Matt, do you think Zion plays?
Absolutely.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You homer.
It's my otter lock today.
Hump day.
Which means...
I don't know. Are we still fading the otter, or did he have a night last night?
Do you not remember the Otters play?
No. Oh, no. Wait, it was the World Baseball Classic, wasn't it?
The Otter gave us
Hump day.
over 10.5 runs scored.
It's hump day.
The two teams combined to score less than half of that number.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I need the wrong X, the buzzer, please. Thank you. Sorry,
I didn't know if we'd have it
it's
enough.
Okay.
I didn't know if it's on the same button bar as that. I didn't know if we'd have it enough.
It's your first day, Muse. It's okay. You'll get the hang of it.
You're the worst.
I know.
At least you're honest.
All right, let's get going. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Having some fun on a Wednesday. Of course, Pluckers trivia tonight, 8 o'clock. 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. T-Bob and I and Muse will be over at Oliver Twist for Moscona and T. We'll see a lot of you there. When Brian Kelly met with the media on Tuesday after LSU resumed spring practices, one of the things he talked about naturally, as you'd expect, is coaches tend to do every time they meet with the media, football coaches do, they're going to be asked about their quarterbacks. Brian Kelly was asked about Jaden Daniels' offseason, of course, who's returning now. He'll be a fifth-year player and the rare opportunity to be a fifth-year starting quarterback. But there are questions that naturally abound with Walker Howard leaving, with Garrett Nussmeier coming back, with splitting the reps the way they did in the bowl game. Here was Brian Kelly on his starting quarterback in the offseason that he had.
Part of this is we had to recruit him back too, right? So we had to give him a comprehensive plan as to what we were going to do in the weight room, how we were going to continue to develop him technically as a quarterback, all of those pieces. And then, utilizing the resources that we have here. We have VR, we have the ability to train year-round, having receivers here for him. It was really just having a comprehensive year-round training program for him right here, and then providing him the opportunity to do other things as well. As you know, he went out on the West Coast and trained with other elite quarterbacks, providing him the contacts to do that. So I think more than anything else, it was just really continuing the development of a quarterback that's in that stage.
You know what's interesting, and I'm bringing this up because it's, again, I'm not, this isn't me stirring the pot, I'm not kicking the anthill. I'm making very honest observations. You heard Brian Kelly say we had to recruit him back, right? And I've gone through this many times since Jaden Daniels showed up in Baton Rouge. He was a top 50 national player coming out of California, went to Arizona State. People around him, the assumption always was 3 years into the league. Dynamite freshman season at Arizona State, and we know what happened. Sophomore, COVID year, they only played a handful of games. Came back as a junior. Arizona State was in shambles. Herm Edwards gets fired. Well, obviously as a result of all the goings-on there. A lot of the staff was blown out. He decides, I'm going to give it another year to try to improve draft stock. So he enters the portal, comes to LSU. We know how it all went. And it was always supposed to be a one-year deal. It was always, not deal, but always supposed to be a one-year situation for Jaden Daniels in Baton Rouge. And you heard Brian Kelly say it there. We had to recruit him back with a comprehensive plan to show him how we're going to continue developing him. They did that from, remember, you played the SEC Championship that first Saturday in December. Jaden Daniels announced he was returning to LSU December the 22nd. So in that window of time between the SEC Championship game and the bowl game is when Jaden Daniels decided he was returning. So he decided he was returning on December the 22nd. He didn't play the bowl game until after New Year's. And what happened in the bowl game is that every third series they gave to Garrett Nussmeier. So that was it had to be for Jaden Daniels a little bit of a little perplexing to say, hold on, I was going to go pro. You recruited me back, told me how you're going to improve my draft stock, get me better, all this stuff. And then in the bowl game, I'm splitting series with Garrett. I mean, so am I the guy? Am I not? Which is why I think it is interesting to watch how this spring plays out. I'm not saying it's going to play out any differently than Jaden being the starter and taking every meaningful rep in games and being your starter for the season. That's what I hope happens. But it's worth watching. And every year ESPN does this this thing they call the college football future power rankings. So they look at the next 3 years and try to project what the rankings will be like for the next 3 years at that position. So for 2023, 2024, and 2025. Probably not surprising to anybody, number one on this list is Southern Cal. You got USC, you got Caleb Williams coming back to USC, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and you've got a guy there in Lincoln Riley who has just churned through great quarterbacks from Oklahoma now at Southern Cal. That one is just very obvious. After SC, look, there's some usual suspects. They've got Ohio State there, number 2. They were ranked number 1 a year ago, by the way, but I don't think you could have projected what Southern Cal was going to end up being. C.J. Stroud's out. Oklahoma, interestingly enough, number 3. Georgia at 4. Some of the premier programs in college football, it's kind of what you'd expect. Alabama at number 5. So, I remember looking at this last year. A little surprised at where LSU was, and they were 16th a year ago. And the reason I was surprised is because LSU was basically coming off of, a decade plus of quarterback purgatory. And then came Joe Burrow, and instantly the whole perception of LSU football with Joe Burrow seemingly changed at that position. And now a year further removed, LSU continues to climb those rankings. Michigan 6, Texas 7, Tennessee 8, Florida State 9, Oregon 10, Washington 11, and then we find your Fighting Tigers of LSU 12th on this list. Again, remember, they were 16th a year ago. So you return Jaden Daniels, and even despite losing Walker Howard into the transfer portal, LSU still elevates from where they were a season ago. They say LSU projects well at quarterback through 2025, especially with Daniels returning after an encouraging first season. They talk about a lot of his numbers there. They talk about Denbrock and Joe Sloan. They do note that the quarterback room has changed with Walker Howard transferring out, but Garrett Nussmeier is there entering his 3rd season, and that if Nussmeier stays and he's Daniels' successor in 24 and possibly 25, that LSU's locked in. Then behind him, Ricky Collins. You've got Colin Hurley committed for 2024. So you can project ahead to what LSU is going to be. I'm here to tell you that while it's encouraging that this outlet is looking at LSU as one of the they have them 12th. I mean, right there, not far. When you're looking at SEC schools, it's Bama, it's Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, LSU, which is super encouraging. Now, the caveat is Oklahoma and Texas will be in the SEC by that time, and they're both ahead of LSU as well. So you put a little asterisk next to that, but as of right now. But the real truth is that it is impossible. It is impossible to accurately project this because of the transfer portal. Last year, you would have been looking at this list with projecting 3 years when you had not only Jaden Daniels, Walker Howard, Garrett Nussmeier, but also Miles Brennan at this point last year was still on this list for LSU. At this point a year ago, a lot of you were assuming that Miles Brennan was going to be the starting quarterback. So the transfer portal has completely changed this. Do you realize, a year ago you would have been looking at Wake Forest with Sam Hartman. Now Sam Hartman is Notre Dame's starting quarterback. Drew Pine was Notre Dame's starting quarterback. He's now at Arizona State. Devin Leary, great player in the ACC for NC State. Chopped NC State off at the knees when he left, but now he's at Kentucky. Well, NC State had to get a quarterback, so they got Armstrong from Virginia. DJ Uiagalelei. Last year, everyone was excited about what he could do in replacing Trevor Lawrence. Didn't have a great year. Now he's the quarterback at Oregon State. You don't need me to spell all of this out for you, but just illustrating why it's impossible to project, because realistically, I can't tell you definitively that Garrett Nussmeier is going to be LSU's quarterback next year. In 2024, I mean. Daniels plays in 23, maybe Nussmeier Lee. I don't know. I can't say it with absolute certainty because of how fluid this is. Similarly, I can't tell you that I think Ricky Collins will stay here and never play at LSU. I hope he does. I hope he plays and he's awesome. But statistically, it's not going to work out. And somebody in the next 2 years is going to be playing meaningful snaps or starting for LSU at quarterback that's not on the roster right now. It's playing for another school. It's just something that you kind of have to accept. That's the reality. The portal giveth, the portal taketh away. You're going to lose guys to the portal like you just lost Walker Howard. Now you've got to make up for that and gain it in the portal somewhere over this next 3-year cycle as well. But I would say this number, with LSU being ranked 12th on this list, is more of a hat tip to the coaching staff and their ability to recruit this position and evaluate this position for the same reasons why USC and Lincoln Riley are on there, or Ryan Day in Ohio State, or Kirby or Nick, or Tennessee. That is a hat tip to Josh Heupel. I think LSU being where they are is a hat tip to Brian Kelly, Mike Denbrock, and LSU's ability to attract really good signal callers, and I just don't really worry about that position anymore. I'm not telling you Joe Burrow's ever walking through that door again, or the next version of Joe Burrow at LSU, but you don't need him to win. You need someone who's more than capable of being an elite caliber quarterback in the SEC, surrounded with elite talent that LSU will have, and they'll be able to win at the highest level. So, but it is such a difference in perception around that position in this program than even 5 years ago. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. We'll do some Pluckers trivia at the bottom of this hour. We'll have some fun. We'll have Otter Locks in 30 minutes from right now. I don't know which way. I'll probably roll with the Otter because eventually it's got to turn, right? Like, it's like guessing the stock market.
I said that yesterday, and you're like, does it?
Yeah. He's not
Okay.
going to lose forever.
All right.
Right? He's not going to lose forever.
That was pretty. He wasn't close last night though.
Or the night before, in 2 different sports.
He needs March Madness back. He needs the Sweet 16.
Got some NIT tonight. CBI.
That could work.
All right.
That could work.
We'll see. Okay. Mel Kiper talks about this upcoming draft and NFL Coach of the Year odds. You wonder where Dennis Allen is on the list? This might surprise you. It's next, AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. What was that temperature today? 82 degrees today. Spring is here. Muso is done freezing his T. Heiney off at the box forever, at least for the rest of this year. It's a great time to get by Clegg's, y'all. You want to plant that vegetable garden? Clegg's has Johnny Naylor seeds. If you're a gardener, if you're a green thumb, you know Johnny Naylor. Walk in any Clegg's, just go directly to the back wall. You'll see them lined up all in those cork boards. You'll see all the Johnny Naylor seeds. Get your hand in the dirt. Plant some flowers. Add that pop of color to your flower beds, to your patio pots. You want decor, if it's garden flags, if it's doormats, if it's statues for the garden, or bird feeders or wind chimes. You get so many things to spruce up, decorate your outdoor space to make it your own personal oasis. It's Clegg's Nursery. If you need soil or mulch, they got it for you by the bag or in bulk. It's at Clegg's Nursery. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Moon Griffon is back, the voice of Louisiana.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Dan Campbell is the betting favorite to win the NFL Coach of the Year award next year. That probably shouldn't come as a great surprise, right? I mean, the Lions haven't won a division title in 30 years, and they're currently favored to win the NFC North. No Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay anymore, so that would make a lot of sense if the Lions go on and win the division. This is a team that's won one playoff game. Do you realize this? They've won one playoff game since their last league championship in 1957. Say that again slowly. The Detroit Lions have won one playoff game since 1957. Whoever you cheer for, it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, like even the Browns, like Baker just led them to a playoff win not too long ago.
It was the COVID year.
Yeah, second to last year there.
They beat the crap out of Pittsburgh,
yeah.
too.
Well, but the thing is, like, everybody looks at the Browns as, like, the worst, but wow.
Dan Campbell plus 1,100. Second best odds. You want to take a guess? Second best odds to win Coach of the Year?
I've seen the odds, so I don't want to guess. I can guess and just get it right if you would like.
Or you can get it wrong for the sake of the show.
Well, then I'm being dishonest, Matt.
All right, who is it?
Sean Payton.
No.
Yes.
All right, it is. Sean Payton is next. No, actually, Sean Payton and Matt Eberflus. They have the same odds. You see, Muse, you got fat and cocky over there, and you were wrong. You were wrong again, Muse. D'Amico Ryans and Frank Reich are next at plus 1,600. The interesting thing is the odds I saw only had 11 coaches with odds. No, go ahead.
No, it's just like, shouldn't all 32 at least have odds?
Sure, but the odds I saw only had 11 coaches with odds, and there may be a more complete list, but Dennis Allen has the 9th best odds, according to these were FanDuel's odds. How about that?
9th out of 11.
Everybody's got weird odds. Now, I just looked at them on Twitter. Bet Online has Peyton with the best odds, Eberflus, Dennis Allen, 3rd best odds, then Dan Campbell, 4th.
Ugh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different. Point is, Dan Campbell, Sean Payton, Matt Eberflus, a lot of top, but not far behind. You see Dennis Allen down there. And maybe the reason is because I'll go to the same thought process with Dan Campbell's odds. If you're an historically bad team and you win your division for the first time in a long time, you're probably going to get a lot of Coach of the Year odds. The coach that coaches the best team doesn't always win. Generally, it's the coach that maybe has the biggest turnaround, the most surprising type season is who's going to win Coach of the Year. It's not like an MVP race. So if you're Dennis Allen and you're coming off a 7-10 season and the Saints have gone back-to-back years without winning the division or making the playoffs, and if you, let's say, flip it to a 10-7 type season, having brought in Derek Carr and the rest of the league, the rest of the division in sort of rebuild mode, it does make a little sense there. Now, that also sets you up potentially for a more dramatic fall if you come up short again this year, considering all of the dramatic measures that the rest of the league are taking, like the Carolina Panthers trading up to take the number 1 overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in complete and utter tank mode with either Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield as their quarterback, and Atlanta still amid their rebuild trying to figure out what they are. Now, as we mentioned, at the top of the draft are the Carolina Panthers. Mel Kiper did a draft Zoom call with the media today, and he broke down essentially what we know, which is that the number 1 overall pick is either going to be one of the 2 quarterbacks from Alabama or Ohio State.
I think there's a lot of factors that go into trying to figure this out. Does Frank Reich stick to what he's done with the bigger quarterback and go with C.J. Stroud? Does he go with the ultimate outlier? There's some people that feel like you never should draft an outlier. Bill Polian always drilled that into me when he was up at ESPN. Bill always said, Hall of Fame general manager, Super Bowl winning general manager, always said, you don't draft outliers. Bryce Young is an outlier. There's no way other around that. But he's a great player. So go back to Todd McShay. Todd said, hey, he's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's Steph Curry. Okay, if you're Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, you're going number 1. But then the size factors in. If you were a little bigger, and I'm not really talking about the height as much, it's the weight. Can he maintain that 204? That's why I think today will be important. Tomorrow will be important for that reason, to see what he is when they bring him in for their private workouts. So you're really close. You're really close.
The other big question that many of us here have is about Hendon Hooker. And where might Hendon Hooker fall? The Saints have a first-round pick at 29. They also pick at 40. Most mock drafts you see have Hendon Hooker in round 2. So Mel Kiper was asked if you could see the Tennessee quarterback going in round 1.
I never say never. Because I've been shocked before. I'm not going to project them to go in the first. I'm not going to have a mock draft of them in the first. I'm going to I have right now a second, third round grade on Hendon Hooker. You say, why the third? Because of the injury, the durability. He's had a couple injuries. He was hurt this year. He's going to be 25 years of age. Played in a quarterback-friendly offense at Tennessee with some really good receivers like Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman and Brew McCoy and some good offensive linemen. Darnell Wright did a great job neutralizing Will Anderson Jr. this year. So I think he could go second round, at worst probably third round.
Second, third round, great. I mean, he used the word shocked. He says, I've been shocked before, essentially alluding to the fact that if Hendon Hooker went round 1, he would be shocked. I'm not saying the Saints won't draft Hendon Hooker, but I want to reiterate something. And I like Hendon Hooker a lot. We've talked about him plenty. If you're the Saints, drafting Hendon Hooker in round 1, or even, I would even say in round 2, just drafting Hendon Hooker, with Derek Carr already on the roster, doesn't extend you the benefits of having a quarterback, your starting quarterback, be a draft pick. Because the benefit is you get a lower salary number on your quarterback when they're on a rookie deal. But you've already got Derek Carr on a big contract, so you don't get the salary cap benefit of having, for example, when Russell Wilson was a third-round pick starting in Seattle, the reason they were able to build that giant roster around him is because, well, they were paying their quarterback $300K. I mean, he was playing at an MVP Super Bowl level, and they're paying him $300K. Same thing with Philly right now and Jalen Hurts. So if you're the Saints and you draft Hooker, but you've got Carr for at least 2 years, maybe more, you don't ever get the salary cap benefit of that young player on a rookie deal at that position. And then, as Mel said, he's 27 years old. So or 25 years old? Are you realistically looking until he's 27, 28 before he becomes your starter? It's a tough sell. It's a tougher sell to try to stash a guy that's 25 years old coming off an ACL injury. And one more from Kuiper. The biggest question everybody has in this draft with respect to the quarterbacks, of course, is Anthony Richardson. And Kuiper was asked, what's the best fit for Anthony Richardson in this draft?
What's the best fit? It's a team that can allow him time and not pressure him to be. He's got 13 career starts. That's it. That's a red flag. That's an immediate red flag. Say, we can't take him. And if we can't take it to 13 starts is nothing. So again, the inexperience is a factor against him. But if you can let him, as I always say, sit, watch, and learn. And people say, you can't do that. Well, you have done it. Patrick Mahomes sat for a year. Jordan Love's finally playing now. We're going to finally play in Green Bay. So for Anthony Richardson, just to give him at least a year to settle in. He's still young. He's only 21 years of age. I think Seattle would be perfect with Geno Smith there. If Geno continues on to be great, then Anthony Richardson waits. If Geno's just a one-year wonder, then you got Anthony developing. It's kind of a win-win. So I think it's a bonus pick for Seattle in the Russell Wilson trade. They pick again at 20. I think Seattle, to me, on paper, logically, thinking it out would be the perfect spot for him.
Mel Kiper talking about the draft. He was on a media Zoom call earlier today. All right, we're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know the drill. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. When you call Brandon, Haleigh, and the gang, you're going to get people that are going to treat you absolutely fantastic. It's Relief Windows. Check them out. You can always go check out their showroom, their state-of-the-art headquarters on Airline Highway in Prairieville. You go south on Airline, you pass Highway 42, look to the right. You can't miss it, about a quarter mile on the right. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's open. They always have associates and representatives ready to help you out. You want to walk in and feel the windows, open the doors, touch the hardy plank and vinyl siding, pick out your color. It's all there for you in their gorgeous showroom. They got a great kitchen in there with complimentary coffee and beverages and food if you want to ever go in and just enjoy a cup of coffee and check out all that they have to offer at Relief Windows. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. There is just nobody better. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, Muse is going to do a little Pluckers trivia coming up after the break. Muse, I think you're going to nail it. As I mentioned to you earlier in the show today, I think we're going 3 for 3 today. Where are we again? Here we go. Yes. That one for sure.
Yeah, it remains to be seen.
This one for sure.
Nope.
Choose a no doubter. Yep.
You're just setting me up for failure.
And if you don't get number 3, then you should just leave.
Okay.
Next week, WrestleMania trivia. It actually says WrestleMania goes Hollywood goes trivia next week. WrestleMania goes Hollywood goes trivia?
WrestleMania goes Hollywood is probably their theme for the year.
For the year?
Which they've already done in 2001. So they're kind of, and for WrestleMania 21, I should say.
Oh, that's WrestleMania's theme.
Yeah.
Okay. WrestleMania goes Hollywood trivia next week. All right, we'll do some Pluckers trivia when we come back with Muse. Otter Locks in 15 minutes. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, as we mention every single day here. Our title sponsor on Wednesdays. You know, back in the day, Pluckers, I've told you this before. My guy Stevie Levy, the king of the wing. First business that ever allowed me to endorse them back in 2007. So I'm loyal to the end of time. Of course, the award-winning jumbo chicken wings are amazing. The ice-cold draft beer, the full-service bar, the sports on TV. We used to joke that they should put a statue of me and Josh Ennis outside of the Pluckers at Nicholson. We didn't joke, but there were other people who did because we talked about them all the time, and we were there probably every day. But you could take our spot now at Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet tonight is a great opportunity to go belly up to the bar, grab one of those seats or booths because you got trivia tonight, 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. You want to eat wings, drink beer, watch sports on TV, test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards. Every team gets to spin the prize wheel, so every team wins something. Trivia night at Pluckers, if you like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we're going to get to Otter Locks here shortly, but we do this on Wednesdays. It is trivia night at Plucker's, so we always give you a little appetizer, a little taste, a little sampling, a charcuterie board of what is to come by quizzing our very own Matthew Musso with some Pluckers trivia questions. And Muse, I got a feeling.
You always have a feeling.
Got a feeling you're just going to crush this one today.
Your feeling is rarely, and I do mean rarely, accurate on that.
Well, last week you nailed it. 3 for 3.
Last week was great.
Had to hold your hand a little bit along the way.
One question.
No,
one question.
I kind of like guided you with the way I emphasized some of them.
That's what a good host of a trivia game does, Matt. That's how that's not. Yep.
Like the McConaughey one where I had to say, like, you know, the 19, I was like, Texas police found him nude playing the drums. I was emphasizing all that sort of stuff. But McConaughey, remember?
Yeah, but again, that's what a good trivia host does.
No.
It adds to the game.
I think good trivia hosts just ask the question.
No.
You can't ask leading questions. Giving away the answers. Like in Slumdog Millionaire, when he wrote the answer on the...
People still do that. All Jeopardy clues, they always have hints in them, and people still get them wrong.
There's not a hint in the clue. It's the way the host asks the question.
That's what a good host does.
Not the hint in the... No, the host doesn't give away the answer.
I didn't say they give away the answer.
That's what I did for you.
No, you didn't. You would have... If you'd have given away the answer, you'd have said something like, oh, and he was in Dazed and Confused or something like that. That would have given it away.
If you were a dog, I would have just shoved your face in your food bowl instead of just like leaving a treat in the corner for you to go find it. I'll put you right there. I led the horse to water and you drank. We'll put it to you that way. Okay, Muse, first one. Here we go. You ready?
See, exactly. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink, so you didn't give the answer. That'd be like giving the answer.
But I didn't say, hey, horse, go find some water.
No, but
I brought you right up to the pond and put your head right down.
But sometimes they don't drink. That's why you can't make them drink.
You'd have to be really stupid to miss
So
that
you didn't
one,
give the answer. I still got the answer.
I didn't say I gave you the answer.
You did say that.
I said I led you to the answer. Okay. Name this Reese Witherspoon movie. You expect me to tell you you look good? What? They run out of soap at the Piggly Wiggly since I left?
Is that Sweet Home Alabama?
Yeah! Told you, Muse.
That's
1 for 1.
Everyone's seen that one, I feel like, at least once in their life.
If I didn't give you the Reese Witherspoon movie hint, would you have gotten it?
Off the line?
Yeah. Okay.
Was the Reese Witherspoon, was that part of the question?
It says it parenthetically, so I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Movie title mashup before and after.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't quite get why this is asked this way, because it's as Spider-Man on fire. Anyway. Peter Parker.
Wait, was that the answer?
Hang on. Peter Parker, and Peter Parker embark on a long trek through the wilderness of the Sierra Nevada mountains in a quest to reach home and their beloved owners. Which 3 movies were being described there?
There's 3 movies there? Okay, wait. Read it again.
I don't get this at all.
Okay.
Movie title mashup, before and after Spider-Man on fire. You're like Spider-Man on fire, Spider-Man, Man on fire, Spider-Man on fire?
Yeah, no, I get the before and after thing.
We're running out of time.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, and Peter Parker embark on a long trek through the wilderness of the Sierra Nevada mountains in a quest to reach home and their beloved owners. Their beloved owners.
Okay, so I mean, I feel like this is Spider-Man and Homeward Bound, but is that Spider-Man Homeward Bound? Is that the answer? You said it's 3 movies.
The third one would be No Way Home. So Spider-Man, No Way Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Or is Spider-Man No Way Home a movie?
I guess so.
You know what?
Paul's nodding.
It is. Okay, then that's it. Yes, give yourself a ding.
Okay, so
give yourself a ding. Absolutely.
Spider-Man No Way Homeward Bound.
The Incredible Journey.
The Incredible Journey.
Is the answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, I used to love Homeward Bound when I was a kid. What a great film.
If this were Wheel of Fortune, they would not have given it to you on the before and after.
No,
you
but I also would have been
nailed
guessing
it all.
letters.
Yes, that's true. I am giving it to you. You got the 2 movies. Maybe you didn't present it as it should have been with Spider-Man, No Way Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. But I was just confused asking the question, as I'm sure everybody was listening to me ask.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
It was worded very poorly. I'll put it there. Okay. All right, Muse. Hey.
I mean, look.
We're looking to go back-to-back 3-0.
This is unprecedented territory.
You know what I mean? I told
right
you.
here.
And next week's WrestleMania.
We could be in for a winning streak.
Here we go.
Or we could be the Pelicans.
Here
Continue.
we go. Yes.
Zing.
Here come the Hornets.
Zing.
Don't ding them. All right. Which film is longer?
Oh, okay.
Pulp Fiction.
I thought this could be a trick question. Okay.
Or Zodiac.
I've never seen Zodiac. Oh, that's disappointing. I've only seen Pulp Fiction. I'll go with Pulp Fiction. I've never seen Zodiac. I don't know what you want to do.
You are right there. You even said I think it's a trick question.
Well, I thought it'd be at least a second movie that I'd seen.
Oh.
The Hornets got me. Darn it.
You lost to the Hornets.
I lost to the Hornets.
You blew a 15-point lead in the 4th quarter to the Rockets, Muse. Damn it.
Sorry, we're going to bounce back next week.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we're going to.
Here comes the Lakers. You're going to give up 60 in the 1st quarter.
Maybe LeBron's out still. That didn't seem to matter.
Didn't matter.
That didn't seem to matter. That's still 5 out of the last 6. That's pretty good.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Was chatting with my buddy Martin at Shawbills earlier today. And, man, they are, at Shawbills, they are on the prowl. They are looking to staff up. They want good people. They want to mold people, young people, coming into the workforce. If you're a young person looking for work, looking for not only a job but a career with amazing benefits, Shawbills. You don't need any experience. They will train you to what you need to be. You just have to be motivated, dependable, got to be helpful in nature. You got to be driven. If you want a structured environment, if you have a whatever it takes approach, Shawbills wants to talk to you. They're looking for great, hungry young people. They're going to put you in an ecosystem that's existed for more than 50 years and help you grow a career. It's at Shawbills. If you're interested, apply online. Any of their locations. This isn't specific to any location. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Tell you every single day. Tell you about the Charlie's Dozen. We tell you that they sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. We tell you about their price match guarantee. But I tell you so much more than often about their people. That's their differentiator, and they're looking for more. They're looking for you. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. Muse. You let the Lakers set a franchise record for threes in the first half.
I did.
That's what you did.
I did.
You were right there. You got our hopes up. You crashed them. You think Otter would know it?
Pulp Fiction or Zodiac? We can ask him.
I don't even know what Zodiac is.
I don't either. Is that
2007? Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Chloe Sevigny, Anthony Edwards.
Really good cast.
John Carroll Lynch.
What's it about?
A San Francisco cartoonist becomes an amateur detective obsessed with tracking down the Zodiac killer.
Oh, wait. Is that?
I don't know. You don't have to finish your question.
Yeah, well, okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
I didn't know if it was Michelle McNamara, but
She's not listed here.
well, I mean, she's like one of the real people who she's since passed away, but she was obsessed with finding the Zodiac killer.
She must be unlisted.
Okay.
Otterlocks is next.
AFR.
Hey, this Saturday, our friends over at New Orleans Flooring are hosting a great event, inviting you to come on out to their location on Airline Highway in Prairieville. I'll swing by on Saturday as well. They'll have the LSU baseball game on. They're giving away a Yeti cooler and a purple and gold prize pack, which you are going to want to win. You are going to want to win the purple and gold. You are going to want to win the purple and gold prize pack. And remember, all through this month, it's tax-free at New Orleans Flooring. So you always get the great discounted prices because they cut out the middleman. All throughout March, they're saving you on, they're taking care of the tax. They'll have hamburgers, hot dogs. We'll have the LSU-Arkansas baseball game on the TVs there in the shop as well. So if you're looking for flooring, you're doing some honeydews on Saturday, swing on by New Orleans Flooring from 1 to 3 or anytime all throughout the day. But we'll see you there Saturday at New Orleans Flooring.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And as always, you will never pay over MSRP. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville or NOLAFlooring.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance with the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Before we get to Otterlocks, a little bit of news here. LSU basketball player Cornelius Williams has announced he is entering the transfer portal. Redshirted this year, did not play for the Tigers, so he is leaving LSU, announced it on his social media just a bit ago. So Cornelius Williams, the third Tiger, joining Juice Hill, Kendall Coleman to enter the transfer portal. All right, we do it every day about this time. Nope, that's not how I say it. We have one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, James Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing good over here at Roca Pizzeria on Government Street.
Great spot, man. I like their pizza a lot. I like their vibe a lot right there at Roca.
Yeah, man, it's a good place. It's a good place. Great signature cocktail menu, and getting ready to get into a little oyster Rockefeller pizza.
Very
that
cool.
is the special, one of the Lenten specials that we have going on over here at Roca.
Hell
so,
yes.
Glad to be over here.
Hell yes. So yesterday we had the over in the World Baseball Classic. Didn't work out. We got to get back on track. We thinking some NBA tonight, some CBI. What are we looking at?
We're going to go to one NIT pick, and then we're going to give you the early NCAA tournament pick tomorrow.
Okay.
So NIT, you got, quarterfinals tonight, trying to get to New York. UAB is at Vanderbilt. This is an interesting line movement. They bet UAB to the favorite. We're skipping that when we're going to Cincinnati at Utah Valley. Utah Valley on Sunday beat Colorado at their place. It's not easy to do. This will be the most exciting or the biggest game of their program history, and it's at home. And so we are going to take Utah Valley minus the 1.5, buy it to -1.
All right. Utah Valley tonight. All right. Locked in on Utah Valley. Oh, you got something else? Okay.
And then for the NCAA tomorrow, the narrative, boy, they love to jump on narratives, but I mean, I got to go with the larger sample size here. Kansas State's a better team than Michigan State. Izzo, no denying what he can do in a tournament, but I mean, Kansas State is just a considerably better team. We're going to take them plus 1.5.
1 minute remaining.
If it's not 2 it already, it's either 1.5 or 2. But we're on Kansas State.
Otter likes Utah Valley tonight. Kansas State tomorrow in the game that tips at 5:30. So we'll have Otter locks tonight, so we'll be able to talk about the rest of the slate. Otter over at Roca Pizzeria tonight, right there in Mid-City on Government Street, a great spot. Otter, have a great show as always. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, be well. Game Time with Jimmy out follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com. About to get on over to Oliver Twist. A little scone and tea. Muse, learn anything today?
Zion Williamson, he's cleared for on-court activities. And then will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
You got it. Paulie, you learn anything?
Saint sign of safety.
They did.
What'd you learn, Matt?
That Jonathan Gray and what's his name? Josiah Gray are not the same person.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, what's his name? We remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. I'll tell you what, if Jonathan Gray or Josiah Gray were struggling on dotting, painting the black, dotting the target over there, they could go by the Williamson Eye Center. How about that transition into a live read? The Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson has helped countless numbers of athletes, as a matter of fact, from professional athletes that guys like Warren Morris and Devin White and Caleb Chasson, to everyday Joes like me. If you just want to be able to see, you can trust the Williamson Eye Center. 3 generations, 70 years in practice, at the forefront of ophthalmology in the state of Louisiana and across the United States of America and the world. It's the Williamson Eye Center. Go for that free consultation. 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with Hug